Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nick from MitigateStress.com. Welcome back to RPM, Recovery Performance Membership. This is video number 5. This is also going to be our entire free guide. That being said, there were 4 videos before this that we started off with in our RPM, Recovery Performance Membership that we have. And those are very important. They're very in-depth. And those are a lot of long-standing postural cues before we even get started with this. That being said, since this is also our free guide, I'm going to make sure that you guys and gals have the fundamentals and basics and long-standing postural cues and concepts down pat first, just to keep you safe and making sure that you're optimally activating the right length tension relationship within your body, right? So that being said, we got our stick. PVC pipe works wonders. You can also use a straight stick from the forest. You can also use a wooden dowel rod off a broomstick handle. That works fine. We're going to be putting this on our shoulder pretty much the entire workout. If you have a hump in your neck, disclaimer, you can use the stick down here, 90 degrees, right? That works. Or if you want to, you get something with a little bit more bend in it, like such. And therefore, if you have a hump in your neck or you're really rounded, one, make sure that you're trigger pointing your abs and your pecs every single day. Make sure that you're working on your breathing, getting super tall. Make sure that you do our Recovery Performance Membership. But you can use something like this that has a lot of bend in it, which will make it a lot easier getting into position, right? So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is learn how to just stand tall, because it's important that we stand tall and create space within this midsection so we're not tearing and suffocating our organs and everything in between, right? We want circulation, we want drainage, but we also want to be able to have ventilation and breathing throughout our entire structure. That being said, we got to create space. So first thing first, feet have to feel like they're in the ground, they're connected into the ground, right? Get in the ground. Feet are straight, neutral, hip width or shoulder width, not too wide, not too narrow, hip width or shoulder width. Feet are pointed straight, knees are pointed straight. Got it? Next thing is I want a nice soft bend in your knees, a very slight soft bend, not locked out, not too bent, just a very slight healthy bend. Next, with the hips, I want them neutral and shifted back over your heels. And I want you to stand super duper tall. With the hips, I don't want you arching, I don't want you rounding. I want it neutral, over the heels, shifted back. It's called a posterior shift. And I want a nice air squat, like Ben talks about in our Recovery Performance Membership during the first 4 videos. He discusses this a lot, where we need to have a nice, healthy air squat, all right? Everything down below is in check. Then we lift our ribs off of our pelvis. We create space in that midsection. Shoulders are up and out, nice and tall. We're breathing. Our sternum is nice and tall and level and pointed up here like this, towards the sky, kind of. And then our crown of our head is pointed straight to the ceiling or the sky. Remember those cues, because we're going to be using that with pretty much every single rep. Now let's do a couple breaths, 10 or so. When we inhale, I want you guys to really get some nice height, length, and expansion. So tall. Get into that new expansion. Now let's go even further with our breath. Try to hold that expansion with each breath. So as I exhale, I'm going to want to compress, but I want you to try to hold that expansion. This is our recovery method that you will use before every workout and preferably after each and every workout. You can also use this to wind down before bed, after a stressful day, to start your day off. And all you're doing is going through these long-standing postural cues, and you're doing a couple breaths. Every single breath you do has to get slower and slower, eventually challenging, but trying to achieve a 1-minute breath. 30 seconds in, 30 seconds out, 1 breath per minute. It's very tough. Takes time. Don't try to suffocate yourself, push yourself too much, because that will create more stress. Just be on the border of that stress. Make sure it's still comfortable, right? Also making sure that your PC muscles, your other hold down here, is relaxed. You're not tensed up, bunched up, just relaxed. Stand tall, again, neutral hip width, all in alignment, air squat, all that tall, up, out, crown of the head, big breath. All right, you get the idea? That's the warm-up. Let's get started. We understand the cues now, right? Grab your stick. We're just going to do a nice, gentle movement primer. First thing is a dynamic warm-up. Standing in our bilateral long-standing stance, which was what we just learned, you're simply going to rotate. The stick is wonderful because it allows us to see where we're pointing. Don't worry about the knees too much. Make sure that your hips aren't following too much like that. You're achieving some kind of counter rotation at the hips to allow your upper body to turn more, to stretch more, and to achieve an optimal rotation like a swivel on top of that pelvis. Now we can play in this. We can take our other foot back and internally rotate it. We can go forward. That's cool. I like this one. We can go side. Boom, boom. We can go into a little bit of a squat. All right, same thing with everything, okay? Next one is we're gonna take a step forward. Same thing, 10% of weight on back leg, 90% of your weight on the front leg. Just start with the rotation. You can go in a little bit of a lunge, not too low, nothing crazy quite yet. Tall, all the cues, remember them, get super tall. All right, switch legs. Whew, I feel a nice stretch on my glute when I sit my butt back. This one's definitely tighter. All right, so the next one is a slow-mo movement primer. Then, now that we did a dynamic warm-up, very gentle, we got some circulation, we did the cues. Now it's time to do another movement primer, which is a slow-mo version. Same concept, same thing as the first one, standing straight, long-standing cues, remember all of them, right? I'm not gonna repeat them too much. Stand tall, we'll have it written down below in the transcript. Now you're gonna squeeze out and squeeze in after this. So we're gonna do squeeze out for 10 seconds and we're gonna go slow. Squeeze out, 10 seconds, rotate. All right, rotate, spend more time, everything you do, always spend more time on the weaker, tighter, less dominant side. I already twisted my left a lot. I still explore it, but I'm gonna definitely spend more time right over here, so I might finish off with another rep as I start with this side as well. Squeeze out. Now we're going to squeeze in, engage the groin, stand tall, tall. All the cues we just talked about, crown tall, rotate, rotate, rotate. See how my hips and my knees, my feet are pointing straight still? That's what we want. Slow-mo, slow-mo. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Twist, twist, twist. All right. Got that? Now we're going to take a step forward. I want you to pinch as if you're walking, meaning this front foot is going to go back like this, this back foot is going to go forward like that, right? You're going to be pinching. This front leg, I'm going to be engaging my posterior chain, my hamstrings primarily, but I should feel this whole thing as if my foot is grabbing the ground like that, pinching. That being said, back leg, frontal lines, anterior portion, the hip flexors, that's going to be engaging as if my foot is doing that, all right? Same thing, pinch the ground, go slow-mo. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Now we can take a step forward. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Rotate and take a step back. All right, now you can push away. So this front foot can be pushing that way, right? As if you're trying to straighten the rug out like that, boom, and then boom. Back leg is pushing that way, front leg is pushing this way, same thing. And you can basically do this like a compass. I can squeeze however I want. But let's just try to keep it like this because this is really going to help us with walking. Twist, slow-mo. Tall, 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 tall. Breathe. I should have been telling you that the whole time. You want to make sure that you're still doing your breathing techniques. All right, switch side. Pinch, pinch, pinch away. Pinching. All right, that's good for now. So, again, these are our primers. This way, a little bit of a play, side to side, forward, whatever. Then our front one, boom, 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 boom. And then we do the slow-mo, pinching in, pinching out, going forward, pinching this way, pinching that way, slow-mo, right? All right, now we're ready to get started with the actual workout, but that was already a workout slash warm up. It's the primer, like I said. Number one, first thing we're gonna do is walk forward. It's that simple. So all the cues we just talked about, getting tall, making sure our feet, knees, and hips point in a straight line, all in the same direction. And we're gonna walk 1, 3, do hundreds of reps of these. Pause the video if you need. I'm only gonna do 2 passes, but you can pause the video and go for 1 to 5 minutes with everything you do here. If you only got time for 1 minute each, that's fine. Go forward again. Tall, small steps. Feet are straight, neutral, or slightly internally rotated. Rotate, rotate, rotate. You can use a stick as a marker to see how far you're rotating. All right, that's number one. Number two is now we're gonna go backwards. You guessed it. All right, so always rotate towards your lead leg. Again, sitting into that tiny air squat, soft knee bend, crown tall, sternum up tall, create space in the midsection, breathing deep. And backwards, boom, 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 boom. All right, man, I'm feeling good. Backwards, all right? All right, so now it's time to go side to side. So if you look at boxers, whenever they step to the left, they usually punch with their left arm, meaning they're gonna rotate their upper body to the right. And then as they step, punch with their right. Boom, boom. So you can try that. If you step to the left, punch with your left, and then your right. Step to your right, you're gonna punch with your right, and then your left. Same arm, right? But you're gonna be rotating away with the stick. So hopefully that kind of helps you understand the stick a little bit better. So we're gonna rotate away as we step to the left. Rotate to the right with your upper body as you step to the left. Make sure you get sufficient rotation. You can do small steps and really focus on that upper body. All right. Boom, boom. Now I'm stepping to my right. I'm gonna rotate to my left with my upper body, right? And as I bring my left leg over, I'm gonna rotate to my right. Whew. All right, so now what we're gonna do is everything we just did, but squatting. So now we're gonna go forward, but squatting. Getting your squat, not too low. You can go low if you want. Keep the feet straight or internally rotated. I need to rotate more. This is forward. Now we're gonna go backwards. Again, pause the video with everything on this video. Every little exercise, pause it and go for at least 1 to 5 minutes to really get some reps in and some skill, because the name of the game is reps, quality and quantity. So I did forward and back squatting. Now we're gonna go forward and back, side to side squatting. Big steps, big rotation, or small steps, still big rotation with that upper body. All right, coming back. So again, we did our primers, bilateral, unilateral, slow-mo, and dynamic. We did the walking straight, forward, backward, side to side. Now we did squat, forward, back, side to side. Now it's time to do some oscillation. A little bit tricky, but got to give you something to work with that's challenging. It's going to challenge your brain a lot. So, same cues we just talked about 100 different times, right? If you don't got the cues down, go buy our membership, go learn it there, because we go into so much more detail, so much more depth. That's why we're able to give away this for free, even though it's gold, because we already give so much value in that membership that we couldn't give that away for free because it's a lot of hours and time. So oscillation is very simple, not really, but I want to try to make it simple. You can do this with just your arms with the stick. Try to keep the stick fixed. Use your shoulders, but more importantly, use your spine, like your chest, but with the stick. You're just one with the stick, with your upper body. Don't worry so much about the lower body quite yet. You can go internally rotated if you want, or just stay neutral. But just get this motion down. That's 1, and this is 2. You can also challenge yourself and do this as if this isn't already challenging enough, and do this in a unilateral stance. So now I'm doing like kind of an uppercut. Before I was doing this, now I'm doing that, right? Now we're gonna do it, well, you can do both sides again. Pause the video, 1 to 5 minutes with any exercise we do. Now we're gonna walk. So I'm gonna go walk, oscillating like this. As my hand goes forward, my arm goes forward, it's gonna go down. When it goes back, it's going up. All right, now we're gonna go backwards, same way. Boom, boom. I'm a little clumsy with this, but again, this is all mining motion data, as Ben discusses in our membership a lot. We're learning new things. We're getting proficient. We're exploring with all that. So that was the first one. Now we're not gonna do side to side with that, that's too much. Now we're gonna do this way. Okay, watch this. Boom, 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 boom. Just spend reps, quality and quantity. Lots of reps. Don't overthink it, but be present, be aware, right? When I go back with this one, I really get a nice glute stretch. It's really nice. All right, that's the oscillation. Play with that, 1 to 5 minutes each if you want. Play with it, have fun. All right, so the next one, we're gonna be doing a slanted drill. We're not gonna be bilateral, we're actually gonna be unilateral. So get into your step position. We're gonna lunge into it a little bit, sitting back into that glute. So feel a little bit of a stretch in your glute. Then you're gonna slant. First though, get as tall as you possibly can. Create space, this is very important here. If you have any back pain, be very careful with this one, any of them, but this one specifically, because it can be a little bit jammed up when you're doing this, especially the first time. Get into a slant, super tall, and you're gonna basically be doing what a boxer does, where they slip, uppercut, or slip, long jab, right? Or long cross, whatever. And get into that, slant. We're gonna go like this, up, up, up. See how I'm going down when I'm twisting this way? I'm going into that glute. I'm sitting back and in, coming up. Chest proud, but I'm tilting, right? Other side, about 10 reps, sitting in that glute. Again, with any of these, if you feel any problems or discomfort, just don't do them and just do the basic ones. You could even just get a full workout just doing this one. I'm not even kidding. I've done that for 45 minutes before, and you'll be surprised what you can get out of that if you pay attention, you focus. It's like a meditation, it's amazing. All right, now we're gonna do that walking, forward and backwards. All right, 1, my bad. 1, 2. Tilted, the feet, knees, and hips are still pointed straight. Nice linear direction, trajectory, as we're slipping and uppercutting. Boom, boom, uppercut, boom. All right, now backwards, boom. A little bit more complicated. Play with it. Always twisting towards that front leg. The leg that's in front, you always want to twist towards with stick flow, pretty much. All right, now the other side. So, boom, boom. Sitting back into that leg. Small steps or big steps, but make sure you get that slant and that rotation. A little bit of a stretch in that glute, that butt, that left butt you should feel. All right, and boom, boom. Again, pause the video at any moment, 1 to 5 minutes. Each little exercise, reps, 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 quality, quantity. The name of the game is a lot of reps. Don't think so much time. Have fun with it. Practice this multiple times a day if you want, or all in one workout. Do it before your walk, after it as well. Always before a walk though, for sure. All right, so the final movement that we're gonna be doing with our PVC stick is simply standing straight, level, all the same cues we've been talking about, but now we're gonna make sure that our feet, knees and hips, are pointed in a diagonal direction away from your body. And we're gonna be stepping like that, right? So you're gonna be using your back groin to step with, like this, and then you're gonna be stepping with your front outer lateral lines, like your glute and your TFL, right? So it's gonna look like this, boom. Always twisting towards your lead leg. We can just do this. I don't have to walk down the whole thing. I can just keep going like this so you can see exactly what I'm doing. All right, so boom, boom, boom. As I go back, you should feel a gentle stretch in your back glute if you're doing this right. I think I'm tilting a little bit too much. Can't see myself in the mirror. If you're doing this, please keep this level as much as you can. Like this. A gentle squat is fine. Soft knees, soft hips. It's going to take a while to get this one down. It just took me a while, so don't worry about it too much. Just rotate. Keep the legs counter-rotated the entire time. Boom. Boom. All right, let's try the other side. All right, rotate. Rotate. So when I go forward, I should feel stretch here, front upper hip, TFL. As I go backwards, right, let me do this while I'm walking. As I go backwards, I should feel stretch in that back glute right here at the very end range of motion like this. And then front hip, back glute stretching. As I go forward, I should feel that front hip stretching and using that groin on my right leg. Rotate, rotate, counter rotate those hips. So you're using the lateral and inner lines of your legs as you rotate now. Always make sure that you focus on your weaker, less dominant side. You spend at least twice as much time, more reps on that weaker, less dominant side. That's more restricted, less mobile, less activated, less connected. I did a lot of sports growing up, a lot of different sports, not one specific one. And no matter what sport I did, if I played football, I threw with this arm. If I played a little bit of softball, not baseball ever, I batted with this arm, right? I twist it to my left a lot. I'm right-handed. I go like this a lot. So therefore, I want to spend more time twisting to my right. But that being said, use a full body mirror. Best idea with this, record yourself, become aware of how you look. Go ahead, sign up for our Recovery Performance membership. It's only a few bucks per month. It's about $1 a day. We're gonna go through everything you need to know in detail, but this is a good start. Start with this for a few weeks. Every day, do your walks, do your recovery stuff we talk about, do the rest after this. The long-standing rest when you finish. And then I'll see you on the membership, RPM. All right, hope to see you there soon, guys. Peace, God bless.